Hello there guys, and welcome to the flight deck of the majestic Q400, parked on stand number 23 at a rather murky Newcastle. I guess this is pretty normal for Newcastle. Let's just hope that clears, or we may have some issues, but saying that, we're only departing, so it shouldn't really make much of a difference. Anyway, on to the task in hand. Welcome to another episode of the Welcome on Board series. Now, I'm changing things up a bit because I kind of lost focus with this little web episode, if you will, and I really wanted to pursue it. So this is what's going to happen. Every week or 2 weeks, depending on how popular this becomes, I will be taking requests from you guys, and then based on that request, that will be where the next episode of Welcome on Board is located. I will find a way of making some sort of web page so that you can submit your requests, and I'll take them in priority of, first of all, people that have subbed to me on Twitch, and then second of all, people that obviously subscribe on YouTube and follow on Twitter and Facebook. As far as how the episode is going to go, well, I don't want it to be 3 hours in length, so I'm going to chop it up quite substantially. You can always assume that at the start of each episode, I've already done the flight planning, we already have loaded fuel, we've already loaded the payload, and we have everything ready to a point to where we can start the pre-flight checklist. I will, as much as possible, use the checklist. If I forget, my bad. And hopefully this will be a fun little learning experience for me, and also a pleasurable viewing experience for you. Now, if you're interested in replicating the flight, or you just want to see what I'm doing as far as the flight plan and the load goes, I'll of course upload the flight plan to Dropbox, as well as all the relevant figures, and I'll leave that below the video in the description box. So, now that's all out of the way, let's get underway, and we'll start with the pre-flight checklist. So, documentation we have is on board. It's actually on my other screen, on my other computer. The batteries on the overhead panel, they are switched on. The main bus tie needs to be set to tie. The external power, so the DC external power, I have connected, and we can see here on the electrical panel that DC external power is set to on. Battery temps also look good, and the safety equipment, well, we can just pretend that's all on board. The landing gear lights, well, 3 green, that's always a good sign. The engine intake doors on the overhead panel here are closed and green. The circuit breakers, well, I have the beta version, which means that I can check that they work. And how I do this is by spinning my head all the way around and clicking on this panel, which will bring a pop-up up. And these all work now, which is great. The only thing is, you can't click on the actual circuit breaker itself. You've got to click on this, you have to click on the 2D panel to initiate it, but they're all in, and just to prove a point, let's ruin the clock. Bump, and back in it goes. Okay, so the circuit breakers, they are checked and they're all in. There's also one on the first officer side as well, but I can't be bothered to go check that. Next up is the bleeder, and that is set to off. The APU bleeds are both off at the moment. The resec fan we can turn on. Pressurization is already set. The packs are set to 2 auto. The emergency lights, we have them in the armed position. The fuel quantity and the transfer switch, well, okay, that's easy dock for you. Let's try that again. The fuel quantity and the transfer switch is 510 in each tank, and the transfer switch is set to off. Parking brake is set, the pressure is good, and the power and condition levers, please easy dock, don't ruin me. Okay, nice. Power and the condition levers, well, the power is idle. Move it up a little bit so it's not in disc, there we go. And the fuel, well, not fuel, the condition levers are fuel cut off. Next up is the nose steering. I've got a feeling Easy Dock is going to hate me again. Oh no, it's worked. This is nice. Nose steering is over here, and it is off, which is all good. Now it's time to set the FMS. Hurrah! So, setting the FMSs. Have them both at the moment. The left hand one is on the GPU page because, ironically, we were connecting the GPU. We'll start on the flight plan page, I guess. And we can type EGNT and we can accept that. And then we are going via NATEB. And from NATEB, we are heading on the Papa 18 airway. Which, if I remember how to do this, it's been a while since I've flown this. It's airway. There we go. Papa 18 is number 2. And then from there, we are direct to Gasco, which is number 7. And from Gasco, Papa 16, which is list again, and then airway. And that is number 1. And then from there is to Croft. Croft is number 2. After Croft, we are direct to Keypad, which, if I can find the K key, is there. And then from there, we are taking the Lima 151 airway to Peppel, which is number 3, and then it is into Southampton. So now we can set the departure, I guess, from Newcastle. It's runway 25. It's a southerly wind at the moment of about 8 knots, which is not too bad, but the visibility is terrible. So we'll go to menu, depart, runway 25. There's no SID at Newcastle because they can't afford them, so we'll just stick that in there. I guess we should put the arrival in as well, which we can do by pressing menu, arrive. And it's runway 20 at Southampton, so number 2. And then it's on. That's what I don't understand, actually. Echo Alpha Sierra apparently is Southampton. I thought it was Southampton was Sierra Alpha Mike. But whatever. One Echo arrival according to PFPX. Never knew that. ILS approach because why not? And the transition, I don't really know. I'll just go with 1 and we'll go in the plan mode, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But we can always run through that a little bit further on into the flight. So anyway, into the nav, and we can go direct to Newcastle just to make sure that everything is set for departure. Onwards to the fuel page, and we have a dry operating weight today of 17,523 kilograms. We have a passenger count of 74. We have a cargo on board of 502. That was 402. That's 502. Which could give us a zero fuel weight of 24 something or other, which is about right there. We have extra fuel of 0, taxi fuel of 70, but that's not anything to do with that. Fuel on board is 510 in each tank, and that's an 8. We have an alternate of Bournemouth, which is an extra 250 kilograms, and there is nothing else. Oh, we do. We have 5%, which is 73 for hold. There we go. Sorted. Extra 0, as I just said. Okay, well that is a flight plan FMC, all done, blah blah blah. So we can cross-fill that. Is it cross-fill or is it cross-file? Answer that in the comments. Because if you cross-fill something, I guess you're filling it in another entity, but you'll file it. Nah, I'm just going to shut up. Don't answer that. Moving on. We'll cross-fill it. Double-click to cross-fill fuel and the flight plan, and then just go direct to Newcastle. So make sure that you don't screw yourself over. Clear the messages. So that should give us the same. Nice. Courtesy of Aurasim. That wasn't sponsored, I promise you. We have the weights. No, we don't. I think I'm high or something today. Like, I can't talk properly. What I was actually meant to say was we have the fuel. Nope, I'll try that again. What we were meant... I'm done. What I was meant to say is that I have the speeds. And the speeds are as follows, which is a V1 of 126. This is with flat 5, by the way. So 126, and I think my plane is having a seizure. VR of also, ironically, 126. And then a V2 of 128. We have a V-Fry 104. Really? Oh my god. Just breathe, that's okay. 140 was that? Yeah. And then a V-Climb of 151 knots. Don't ask me to explain what those mean, because I really don't know. Although Airline to Sim did just release a training, which means that I can go watch that and figure it all out. One thing it doesn't tell me is the airfield elevation, which I'm now going to have to go and find. But the QNH is anyway 1026. 4, 5, 6. Now, that's going to start screaming at me, because I don't have it set on the other side, and if it does set it, I can edit that out. 1026 is set, and that gives us indication of 490 odd feet, which means I'm going to set, not the decision height, because that would be a bad idea. I'm going to set the MDA to 1,000 feet above airfield elevation, which is 1,490. I don't know why that is. I think it's just to make the ND look pretty or something. No, I mean, you're supposedly not meant to make the turn or any sort of maneuver below that altitude, or something like that. Some crazy SOP creator once decided that that was a good idea. Okay, so that's done. Let's go back to the checklist and see what the checklist says. Please tell me I don't have to set those on both sides. No, I don't. That's fine. Yeah. So back to the checklist we go, and it says now that the takeoff and departure briefing is to be done. Well, guys, you are the first officer, so I will brief you. It's runway 25, and after departure, at 2.5 miles from the ILS, it's a left-hand turn onto a heading of 210 degrees, which we will now set. We'll try to. We are also cleared to an altitude of 6,000 feet. We are on VATSIM. There is no ATC. I just know that's how it goes. I will be flying, obviously. Good luck trying to do that through a video player. And if anything goes wrong, then I'm going to start this all over again, so it doesn't really matter. Or edit it. And yeah. That is my briefing complete. So, moving to the before start checklist, I guess we can go for. Is that the next item? It is. Or the next section. Don't you just love EasyDock? Just do that. And so genius. Oh, what? The sun. The sun never shines in Newcastle because all that. Look at all that pollution. So disgusting. I mean, I don't even know why Emirates wanted to shame themselves by putting themselves on the side of an air traffic control tower in Newcastle. Like, out of all the places, probably the cheapest, that's why. Anyway, probably should move on. Oh, did I show you the purple plane? I didn't I? Sorry. Let's go outside. This is what we've got to fly now. It's a flying Cadbury's chocolate bar. I know I stole that joke from someone else, but I don't care because it is literally what it looks like. I'm not quite sure whether the designer of this was smoking some sort of heroin. Can you smoke heroin? Drug dealers, comment below. Yeah, I honestly don't know. Why? It just looks like a big purple dildo. But then you look at the back and you're like, oh, the tail still looks nice, you know. Really nice font, really nice colours. But hey, let's fly before you. Low cost furs, low cost repaint. And the great thing is, all the haters will be like, oh my god, I love the repaint, don't hate on it. I don't care, to be honest. I don't like it, so, my opinion. Faster than road or rail. Ironically, the Dash 8 has like the most failures out of most of the commercial airliners. So it's probably actually not faster than road or rail. Unless you're going by Virgin trains, then it definitely is, because, well, I don't know if you've ever tried to use them before. They're not great. Anyway, waiting for my textures to load. So, the before start checklist. Let me get my yoke out. Oh geez, that's not my yoke, that's my FIFA controller. What's that? It's all tangled. Right, okay, there we go. We have some sort of control surface now. So, trim, set, doors and fueling lights. Well, the door's still open, isn't it? Let me check. Yep, let's shut the door. There we go. Back to the flight deck. The fueling lights, well, yeah, they should be out too. The cabin report is received. Flight deck door is locked. And probably should turn the radios on. That might be a great start. The anti-collision light, well, it's on the overhead panel. You can switch that onto red now. Turn the fasten belts on and the smoke in. And we can also turn the battery master. It says to on, but it's already on, so we don't need to do that. The APU bleed needs to be off. It already is. Oh jeez, here we go.
Our Dash 8 Q400.
Let's
I'm just waiting for the last of the luggage to be loaded on board, then we'll be able to get underway in a few minutes. On behalf of the entire flight crew, I wish you a pleasant flight.
Well, that was nice. Okay, so we're ready to push back now. Now, because the world hate my door just came back open. That was kind of weird. As I was saying, because GSX apparently doesn't work with 90% of things it's meant to work with, and the Dash 8 seems to be one of them, I can't push back from this stand. So, we're going to cheat a bit. We are going to start on stand. Sorry, that truck is really loud. We're going to start on stand and then we're just going to whip it round, go that way, because why not? It's Newcastle, no one cares. So, let me start the... Does my knowledge extend to be able to do this? I want to start the right engine first, then use that power to start the left engine, but I don't trust myself, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to start them both with the GPU connected, and if it blows the GPU up, then tough. So, let me just scratch my head. How to start this thing? I've actually forgotten how to fly this thing. Ignition would be a great start. We'll put that to norm, and that to norm. We'll select number 2, and then we'll press the button. Now, if that doesn't work, I can't get to the pedestal quick enough, mayday. Right, number 2, I need to start and feather it. There we go. Now, if we look outside, this window here, fingers crossed, the propeller should be spinning. There it goes! Should we probably monitoring the instruments right now, but if there's a loud bang, I know it's not worked.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of our airline, we would like to welcome you on board of our Dash Q400.
So now, we can start the other one.
Approximately 2 hours. Would you please fasten your seatbelts and refrain from smoking? If you want to use any electronic equipment, we would kindly ask you to contact us first. For takeoff and landing,
this way
must be switched off, and the cellular
see if this
phones may
propeller's
not be used
moving
during the entire flight.
Oh yeah.
We wish you a pleasant stay on board.
So, while the other engine's sorting itself out, I'm going to make sure that out's selected, and out select even, and also heading is selected. Do I have to do anything else? I honestly don't remember. Alright, okay. After start checklist.
Ladies and gentlemen,
When
may
she's
we have your
finished.
attention to the international safety regulations. This aircraft has 6 emergency exits.
Okay, I'm just going to talk over it because I can't wait for that. External power APU. Okay, well, now everything's started. I don't need it anymore. So, I'm just going to get rid of it. The main bus tie can go off now. The electrical panels we can just have a quick glance at, and it looks fine. Let me see if I can get rid of the GPU without breaking things. So data, services, cancel.
Take a hold of the bag and take the life vest out.
It should just disappear without
Pull
many
the life
problems.
vest over your head. Fasten the life vest by connecting the hooks to the ring. Pull the struts until the life vest is properly adjusted.
Okay, it's gone. Right. Condition lever set to max now, which is over here. So up you go.
Tubes are located on both sides, blowing the additional air.
I think I only went to 900.
For more detailed information, please refer to the safety instruction card.
Auto feather should be now selected, which is there. The fuel pumps need to be on, which is there. Jesus Christ, that's loud. The hydraulics should be on, a normal indication, which is fine. The flaps and the speed, well, it's flap 5, I know that much. And the speeds are all set. The rudder is working. The nose wheel steering needs to come back on now, so look down here, switch that on. PFD, MFD, ED is all checked. The bleeds now need to go to minimum. The de-ice pressure, meh. Ice protection, well that was all tested prior to this plane being graced with my presence. The transponder in the TCAS is a very good point. Let's turn that on. Okay, so now we can go on the overhead panel, turn the wing light off because that's absolutely stupid. Turn the taxi light off, on even. Turn the pitot statics, standbys on. We can turn the pilot side window heat on. The norm, everything on norm, that's always good. Hydraulic number 3 full travel, oh I remember this. So basically, you have to uncap this, press that in, and then release the gust lock. Just make sure that nothing breaks. And then close the guard, and that should get rid of that stupid elevator pressure, which it didn't. So I obviously did that wrong. Oh no, there you go, it's just gone. We have 3 warning lights over here, that's never good. Parking brake, oh yeah, Jesus, anti-skid, I forgot about that, there we go. That means now, that was weird. That means now that we can taxi, so let's taxi. We're going to go out to the right, preferably not on the overhead panel. Oh my god, this visibility is actually disgraceful. So, as we're taxiing down Delta, which is going to take about half an hour because it's about 8 miles long, I should probably talk about the sounds. I found these sounds on the Majestic website. You can hear like rumbling and the bouncing and the, well, it sounds like I'm running over a bunch of tin cans if I'm honest with you. I'm not sure if I want to keep these. Apparently they have better spool sound. Pretty much nearly ready to go now, just approaching runway 25. Make sure the go around mode is set, which it already is. We can turn, well, when we make the turn, overhead panel, strobe lights on, awning lights on.
Cabin crew, cease from departure.
Start the clock. We can start the clock. Probably pressed the wrong button, to be honest. Yeah, I did. I'm a moron. Let me just line up first. Start the clock. There we go. Are we ready? Just lock off. Here we go. Okay, I like those sounds. Power set. There's 80 knots. Nice good old wind trying to screw me. That's what the doctor ordered. E1, rotates, and easy dock. Hates everything in life. I really need to fix that. Gear up. Pitch 15 degrees apparently. Because you can't deal with flying manually, the autopilot's going on. We're going to start the turn early because we're not under any sort of control. And then when we're able to, we're going to go into IAS mode. And we're going to, oh no, wrong way around. We're going to pitch for about 180 knots, something like that. That, we can go direct to Gurley, go to nav, click that nav source is on the right one, yes it is, bring flaps up now, Mayday, oh fuck,
Caution, terrain,
oh fuck,
caution, terrain.